Welcome to this week's WAC Fast Break Extra. I'm Kendra Sheehan, and today's special guest joining is the 6'5" junior guard, Dominick Nelson, who's also the WAC newcomer of the week, combined for 45 points across 2 games. And Dominick, after the week that you had, how much confidence are you playing with?
I say I have a pretty good amount of confidence. My teammates believe in me, so does the coaching staff. So I feel like that's what that's what makes me have the confidence. That's what makes me play better.
Utah Valley's 5-0 in WAC play. How does this team just continue to find ways to win games?
Just continue to believe in each other. We knew we were a good team. We knew we had the pieces. It was just all about putting it together. We had a tough road stretch where we were losing a lot of games, but we knew once we got home and once conference started, we'll be good.
What were some of those takeaways from those non-conference losses that you've been able to incorporate to the beginning of WAC play?
Just being able to stay together, especially on the road. If you want to win the conference, you have to win road games. So I think it was good for us to have those losses early because now we're putting it together, and that's what's going to help us win.
And a big road win against UT Arlington in overtime. And one of the best things about this team is how unselfish the Wolverines play, and that was certainly on display with Holcomb's game winner. How has this team been able to develop that mentality, leading the WAC in assists and just continuously showing that unselfish behavior on the floor?
Our coaches preach that every day in practice. Sharing the ball, moving the ball, not being stagnant on offense. So once we preach that, well, they preach that every day, so it's easier for us to do it come game time.
Your first season with Utah Valley, you were at Polk College before. You're from Miami, so in Utah possibly for the first time. What brought you to Orem initially?
The coaching staff. I knew I was going to have a good opportunity to come and be able to play as soon as I got here. So that was really the main factor in me choosing my decision to come to Utah Valley.
What was one thing that stood out to you, either on your visit or something that the coaching staff said to you that really rang true, and now that you're here at Utah Valley and having a lot of success?
That I was going to come and be able to make an impact right away. Obviously it's on me. I was going to have to put the work in and just stay locked in, but that was the main thing that stuck with me.
Of course, a lot of newcomers on this roster. You coming in, what was one of the first things you noticed about this group when you started your first practice with the team?
We all, that's a good question. We're all connected right away, I would say. It's not, we don't really have any problems. We're all cool off the court, really cool actually, so we knew we'd be able to gel.
How did you kind of find your groove with this team? Now you're the team's leading scorer, averaging nearly 15 points a game, and such an impact player. How were you able to come in and just be so explosive with this team?
Just coming in and being able to play my game right away. Like the coaches wanted me to do that, so me being able to come in, play my game, play how I usually play, I just feel like it helps everybody around me, and I've been able to come and do that and showcase my skills.
What would you describe as the strength of your game that allows you some of these big explosive plays?
Just being able to run out in transition, embrace contact, and be a good finisher, good mid-range shooter. I just feel like those things help the team in a big way.
This offense is so potent, and for 3 weeks in a row, Utah Valley has taken the WAC Top Play Award. So many highlight dunks. How potent is this offense when so many guys can have big plays like that?
It just gives all of us energy. Anybody's capable of making a big play on our team on any given night. So I feel like that just helps us and brings the energy, and that's what we need to win games.
So undefeated in conference play, one of the only teams that's undefeated in conference play. So winning everything is good, but what are some of the things that you're trying to tune up and clean up in practice as you lead up to a big game on national TV?
Just being able to stay solid on defense. That's the main thing we preach is defense, defense, defense. Because once we get stops, it leads to transition scoring, which is something I feel like we're good at, and getting out, playmaking. So just staying solid on defense, especially on the road.
Now, I know you're from Miami and you went to college first in Florida. And so what has it been like surviving a Utah winter so far?
It's freezing cold. It's a little too cold for my liking. I feel like I'm getting a little bit used to it, but you can never get used to 20-degree weather.
Had you been or visited cold places before? Is this kind of your first time fully being immersed in it?
Definitely is. I've just seen snow for the first time, actual snow, not too long ago. So it's Too cold, too cold.
Tell me, since you saw snow for the first time, did you at least go outside, maybe do one of the classic snow angels, build a little snowman, anything like that?
Didn't do all that, but it was good to see. I mean, looks better from inside my room where I could see it through the window because being out there is too cold, like I said. But I'm getting a little bit used to it.
And let's go back all the way to when you first picked up a basketball. What age were you, and did you know that that was going to be your sport?
I was probably about 3, 4. I mean, I didn't know it was my gonna be my first sport because I used to play football and basketball up until like my ninth grade year. So my ninth grade is when I officially said I was gonna play basketball, but I didn't know up until then.
What made you decide that basketball was going to be it for you?
Just I'd say I was just leaning because I was just working out at it more. I was just dedicating it more. Like I wouldn't work out as much as I did in football. I still like football a lot. Like I always did. It was always 50-50, but I just worked out more in basketball and I just felt like that was a sport for me.
When you fully transitioned to basketball, did you know at some point you were going to be a Division I basketball player leading your team in scoring?
I wanted to, but I mean, I had no clue this would happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, it was a dream of mine, but I didn't know at the time.
And also a lot of pride in coming from a junior college. Do you play with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder with something to prove now here at Utah Valley?
Definitely. I feel like just being a JUCO product just gives you more hunger and drive because not a lot of people go to JUCOs, not a lot of people. It's just a different type of hunger you have to survive in a JUCO, and I feel like that I bring that here also.
And at Utah Valley, a lot of fun interactions with fans. Can you tell me maybe one that stood out to you that really was a special moment for you in your career?
I'd say meeting some kid after a game. That was probably the best interaction for me. I mean, I've never really done that before. I've never really been noticed like that. So I say having that for the first time, meeting a kid wanted to take a picture and sign hats and stuff like that. I feel like that was big for me.
And looking at Utah Valley and the city of Orem, have you found some good food locations? I know Miami is a hot spot for food restaurants, and so what have you found in Orem?
I'd say Mo Bettas. That's probably the thing that I found out here. That's other than that, I mean, I get the worldwide stuff, Raising Cane's and Chick-fil-A. Still can't get rid of that. So I eat those for the most part.
Now, coming up, you have a big matchup against CBU on the road, a bbig key winning on the road for this team. What has been talked about in practice about a way to come out and get a W?
Just don't get too high because we're 5-0. I mean, I feel like we have a target on our back, and every team wants to have their best game against us and beat us. So we just have to continue to stay locked in, stay hungry, have the same motivation we did when we were 0-0 going into conference, and I feel like that'll help us win the game.
What do you want to showcase on a game that's on ESPNU on linear TV?
I mean, I just say do what I've been doing, just staying confident in myself, just playing how I've been playing. It's not something that's going to make me think different. I mean, it's still a game at the end of the day. We still have to move 6-0 in conference. That's our goal. So just staying together, I'd say.
Well, Dominick, it was great to talk to you. Have a wonderful practice this afternoon. Best of luck as Utah Valley will take on California Baptist on ESPNU. It's a 9 p.m. Mountain Time start.
Nice to meet you guys.